This time I'm going to refer to two species that we generally see together, and they often arrive at the same time, usually in large numbers during Hull Fair, which is the second week in October, the Redwing and the Fieldfare. I think it's safe to say all course participants will see both of these species this autumn. These birds arrive here from Scandinavia because they wouldn't be able to survive the colder winters in Sweden and Norway. The smaller redwing can arrive a little earlier than the sturdier Fieldfare, but most autumns you witness them arriving roughly around the same time. The redwing is slightly smaller and darker than our resident song thrush, but is larger than a starling. Its most noticeable feature when you obtain a clear view is the pale eyebrow, or more properly supercilium above the eye. Sometimes, especially in younger birds, the red on the flank can be hard to distinguish. On older birds it's more obvious, and if the bird flaps in good light you can see that the red extends to beneath the wing, which isn't visible when the bird is at rest. The underside is white and the dark markings look very much like streaks, not spots. If you can obtain a good view, you may even notice that their upper mandible is black and their lower bill is yellow. However, redwings are usually much warier than our resident thrushes and blackbirds. It was years before I managed to obtain anything but a distant photo of one of them. The Fieldfare, which is slightly bigger and bulkier than a blackbird, has white under its wing, which can appear to flash as they fly across the sky in good light. However, don't confuse them with the even bulkier resident missel thrushes, which also have white under their wings. Fieldfares have a unique patchwork of colours. They have a dark brown back and upper wing, but they have a blue-grey head and rump, a black tail, and there is a yellowish buff wash on their speckled breast. The sounds that they make are also quite distinct. The most common call of a redwing is a high-pitched seep. This may be very noticeable when they are migrating in the dark overhead. The most usual notes heard from a Fieldfare are a lot of harsh chap 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 calls, usually uttered when they are flushed by your approach. The redwing and Fieldfare will probably stay in our area, feeding mainly on berries or earthworms, but in harsh wintry weather they may be forced to visit gardens. We've had redwings in the garden several times, but we've only once had a Fieldfare in more than 50 years. One interesting side note about Fieldfares is that one was reported from an orchard west of Hull. It was feeding on fermented windfall apples and was actually intoxicated. Next time, another visitor from Scandinavia, the brambling. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. See you next time.